and then you froze, and now you're gone. Okay. That's a interesting. You know what? I got to talk about it because it's super important. AJ, what's going on with our brother Kanye, man?
You want me to do it? You want me to say it my way, or you want me to keep it? How do you want me to address this? How do you want me to start this? So it's like,
okay, well,
because I can start off with he's an idiot.
Okay, well, brother Malcolm, if you can try to say it as cleaned up as possible, so I can chop this episode up,
okay,
and post it on social media. You know what I mean? So I don't have to edit a lot of your points out. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Okay, thank you, my brother. God bless you.
Kanye West is an idiot. CPS should definitely look into taking away his kids. Mental evaluation definitely needs to be done. He definitely does not make a good fit for president at all. And he definitely needs to have medical attention. He needs to have a mental evaluation all the way. I mean, yeah, okay, I get you want to step up, you want to be the hero, you want to, I guess be the black Superman. But dog, there's one thing to go up against Goliath with a slingshot and a rock, and there's another thing to just step up bare hands and say, let's do it. I mean, like there's two. One of them you're gonna win. Next one, not so much. Your representation, your reputation in general, you tarnished. You self-destructed. That you destroyed that. You destroyed that. You don't have that anymore. I would rather. It's funny. I was talking to. I think it was at work. If I wasn't at work, so I talked to one of my brothers about it. Kanye West does not make a good fit for a third party or a third running person for president. It's the same thing as getting a dumber Trump. It's the equivalent of getting a dumber Trump. I get his heart is in the right place, and I'm assuming that his heart is in the right place. But his mental and his soul are in two different ends of the spectrum.
First off, I feel like every time you speak on my podcast, you're always scared to be honest for some odd reason. The only thing I ask is just try to keep it as clean as possible. PG it as much as possible. That's all I ask.
This is me trying to PG it as much
as
I know.
Possible. I know, brother. I know. And I think you did it very, very well. Any other thoughts on that by chance?
What about how much Kanye West is an idiot?
No, I'm not looking for like I'm not looking for like metaphors and stuff. I just thought did you get your point across is what I was asking.
I hope so.
Okay.
I don't on him.
Huh?
Sorry. I said I have one thought on him, and it's that I genuinely feel bad for him.
Yes.
Because I know he's like clearly bipolar, and he's clearly not getting help for that. And it's clearly showing. And he clearly could get the help for that. I just don't think he wants to admit he has a problem. And he clearly has a problem. I mean, there's more than it. I think there's a lot more to Kanye than just him being bipolar. I think that he also has a lot of hate in his heart, honestly. But I think definitely. a lot of it, not a lot of it, but some of it comes from the fact that he just really needs mental help. Like,
yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna give my side of this, and I'm gonna tread very lightly. Is not because I'm worried that anybody's gonna jump in my DMs about my opinion. I'm not worried about that. I'm super confrontational. I welcome all the smoke, and I got my inhaler in my back pocket. So with that being said,
hold on. One quick question: how old is Kanye?
Kanye is 40. He's like early 40s. B.
Okay, so he did grow up in that era. But go ahead, continue.
So Kanye needs to get away from the Kardashians. And I'm just going to simply say something is not right with that family. And it scares me because every time somebody gets away from that family, they're like, oh, I'm such a, like, I don't know what it is. It's like they glow up after they leave that family. I don't know what it is. I can't even, you know what it is I don't, all right. This, y'all gonna get mad at me. I can't put all the blame on Kanye. And the only reason I'm saying that is because you're gonna be as good as the circle you have. You know what I mean? If you don't got people checking you when you tripping, then they trifling and you're gonna be trifling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think one thing I love that AJ said, I think it was about right around the time these protests started, but he said we were relating it to like the George Floyd murder and everything like that. But he's saying, like, you know, those cops that stood there and watched this cop, Derek Chauvin, go too far. He related to, say if me and him, well, say if I had a beef with somebody and he sees I'm about to cross the line, he's not going to sit there and watch me cross the line because of the relationship we have. He would not be a good friend or a good brother if he let me cross that line. Problem is with Kanye, I've noticed in almost, I want to say like almost for like the last like 10 years, he has not had a good circle, yo. Going back to it's super important the company you keep. And then you mix in the fact, I mean, don't know. I think I shared on one of my vlogs. So I have bipolar too. I have hypomania. Mine, I don't take medicine for it. It's more so nutrition. It's more so nutrition, consistency. Consistency can lead to what I eat, how much I eat, what I'm eating. I can't eat like too much red meat because it might cause episodes. I gotta consistently sleep. I gotta keep myself stimulated and everything like that. It's very, very complex, but it could take one thing coming off course and it can cause a mania moment or a manic episode. So unfortunately, when it comes to what I learned just from what I'm learning about myself, and then what I've learned when it comes to, first off, bipolar disorder is not the same for everybody. So I try to give grace to everybody case to case, but unfortunately, just from like people I've talked to, you know, I wanted to educate myself before I spoke on this, but sometimes when it comes to like when you're having a manic episode, it's hard to get that person who's in that when they're having the episode. It's hard for them to see reality through your eyes because theirs are warped in that minute. So I'm not excusing Kanye because, you know, everybody's a grown man, but I'm genuinely worried for him because he's not doing good right now. I actually cried about Kanye yesterday because, like, I know when I have like a episode or something, dude, it's like it seems hopeless. Or sometimes you could think you're in a good place where you're like, oh, I'm happy, but really you're super destructive or super toxic and not even realizing it. And for me, what breaks my heart is like people are laughing, yo. Like, I don't think this is funny.
It's not.
I don't think, like, and I'm gonna talk to my people real quick. I'm gonna put the camera on me for a second. I don't think it's funny that social media, especially, they put these black faces in these positions. Well, they put themselves too. I'm not gonna act like they're all victims or anything like that. But remember Bunk, AJ? The black dude put all the tattoos on his face. He used to go in like department stores and he used to
Oh, he got rocked in the jaw and then he just stopped making videos.
Oh, well, go ahead, Charlotte.
I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Dip out then.
Okay.
I'll holler at you tomorrow.
See.
Everybody say goodnight to Charlotte.
Night.
Okay, so but okay, so Bunk, you know, he was on, for everybody that's still listening, so Bunk was on drugs, he was drinking, he was doing all this stuff. He was getting all this notoriety, he was getting all this clout because he was doing stupid stuff. Dude would go in like a department store. This is nowhere near a this is just a like a this is a hand-me-down G-Shock anyway. But he would go in like department stores, try on watches, and be like, "Oh, this looks nice. Let me see what it looked like in the light," and step over a little bit and just run out the store. But he would record himself doing it. We glorified that. You know what I mean? It's toxic behavior. We glorified it. We glorified it. And now he's, now he's sober. Now he's clean. Now he's sober. Now he's clean. At least from the last time I checked on Boonk, from what I'd seen into his social media. But now we don't care about that. It's not important when they're doing well. We glorify and give them so much of our attention. We're affirming and validating toxic behavior by nobody was concerned about mental health with Boonk. Nobody was concerned about sobriety. Oh, I'm not gonna say nobody because there might have been, but from a genuine consensus, we always glorify. And when I say we, I'm not saying like black or brown or whatever. I'm talking about the social media like culture, bro. We gotta stop putting these people that are self-destructing on pedestals, helping them monetize off their self-destruction. And then some of them, unfortunately, don't get the chance like Boonk did where they don't get sober. You know what I mean?
You mind if I interject?
Go ahead, brother.
So kind of piggybacking what you said earlier with the Kanye thing as we enter this territory here. Kanye grew up in that generation where, as a black person, you weren't allowed to have a mental, I don't want to say a mental health problem, but you weren't allowed to have mental issues.
Oh, no. I mean, I know that. And I don't know if you've seen any of my episodes where I talk about how, like, the black man is more than likely to get pink eye than any other man in the world because we were told not to cry. What, you're sad? Sad for what? Depression. That's a white man's disease. So I get that sentiment completely, but I was just saying because bipolar disorder is way more nuanced than that. That's all. It's so complex. No. That's all. But go ahead, brother.
No, I wasn't saying that to you, but I'm saying like he grew up in that generation, in that timeline, and his tether, his ground was his mother. That mother and Jay-Z and his girlfriend at the time were like pretty much the only thing that were really like holding him down and keeping him grounded. And then his mother up and died, which that is a heavy loss. That's a loss that hurts you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And then him and Jay-Z had that altercation, and even up till now they don't talk. And he has Kim now, which I'm not sure how longer that's gonna last, to be honest, because Kim is doing her own thing.
Not even that, he like dragged her and her family on Twitter last night.
Right. So he's
not doing too good right now.
As like even before we get to
you like cut out, brother. Black America, can you still hear me? Look like everything clean on my side.
What happened?
Yeah, you like completely cut. Yeah, you completely cut out, bro.
Yeah, a storm came. The storm is coming through, so it kind of messed me up a little bit.
No, you're fine. It was just like you were rolling, and then you just like. I was like, what on earth? I'm like, I'm in the good room where the Wi-Fi worked. Like, I know it ain't me now.
Nah, I got a storm overhead. It's kind of, I'm seeing the lightning strikes and everything.
Oh, you're not that far from me, brother. I mean, I understand. It's my dog about to be tripping. He about to be doing he's about to be doing somersaults and panting like he's giving birth. I know it gets bad, but go ahead.
But yeah, the black community failed Kanye from since the time he was a kid, because I'm pretty sure his mother saw something was up with him, but more than like, I'm not trying to put anything on his mother, but following the black community at that time, the acknowledgement of him having bipolar or any of the ADHDs or ADDs or anything like that him getting a mental eval when he was younger more than likely never happened. She probably just brushed it off. You know what I mean? And he grew up to the man he is today.
Um, no, go ahead. I'll bring it up afterwards because I forgot. I don't have the statistics on hand, so I'm gonna look through my notes real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah. With that being said, the black community, the black community in and of itself, much like what shout out to Taj, he mentioned this last week on our podcast as well. We have to fix ourselves. We have to fix ourselves, and we have to stop promoting toxic behavior. We have to stop promoting destructive behavior. We have to take down these walls that we've had up for so long. You know, like as black people, we have influenced cultures around the world. You know, if you listen to different genres of music, you can find more calming, relaxing, clean versions of any other genre of songs outside of modern like rap and hip hop music. Rap / hip hop is I don't want to say is extremely vulgar. It's not so much like extremely vulgar, but the messages 9 times out of 10 for the modern just top 40s is always the same thing: drugs, money, women, rinse, wash, repeat. Same thing with a lot of the movies. There always has to be a drug dealer. There always has to be, a sabotage or a traitor. There always has to be, some sort of glorified stereotype. Black Panther was a huge success and a huge, I don't want to say starting point because it's not even a starting point.
I said it on your podcast, but Black Panther for me, all 5 times I went to go see it in theater because I had Movie Pass. Movie Pass needs to make a comeback. But when I went to go see it on North Charles Street on 4th of July, not 4th of July, what on Earth, Jordan? On Valentine's Day, I'm tired, yo. On Valentine's Day on North Charles Street in the city, bro, it was like Howard Homecoming up in there.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, first off, my people. Like, I was like, black folk. Like, I was so happy. And it was the one time where you could be the nerd and it was one of the earlier times where you could be the nerd or the cool black kid. It was like, you want to take this? Hey, King, you want to take this picture with me? Okay. Like, it was super. It was just that. I feel like that was when I say everybody in the culture, not just hip hop, but everybody who makes up black culture, period, came together. Still one of my favorite moments, man. I can't wait to watch Black Panther with my kids when they grow up. Well, when I have kids. And then, but go ahead, brother.
Movies like Black Panther, movies like Django, movies like, wait, have you seen Django?
Of course I stop playing this thing, yo. Matter of fact, my last episode, we were talking about, I think we were talking about the Mississippi flag, and like the governor's a black man. And he was crying because they were taking the Confederate like insignia out of the flag, and I just didn't care or feel bad. I was just like, look here, man, I'm gonna need you to stop crying over your master like Samuel and Django. Chains are being broken. Like that like, yeah, but we got to keep it moving. Be like, you
right.
Coming with us or
right? You know, it's time. It's 2020. We are the generation that we are at a pivotal point to change, not the future, but to change the present. We were told we are the future. So if we are the future, we need to change the present. And it starts by tearing down what is old. You can't build a new house on top of an old house. It doesn't work.
kind of going off of what I was saying on Sunday. Um, we're either going to record the temperature or we're going to set it. Um, we need to make that conscious decision and effort to be thermostats instead of just being thermometers and just recording the temperature. I mentioned, I don't know what, I'm trying to remember what protest it was. It might have been when we did Perryville, but I was saying, like, you know, the things that like black women are up against, like they already got a pandemic, they already got white supremacy. They fighting with black men too. We've made these rappers go platinum by reciting songs that degrade and belittle black women, and it was not really received well on my socials. I think that's like the one time I thought to myself, maybe I should disable my comments on my IG, but then I was just like, or I'm just gonna delete you and block you because you're getting ugly in my comment section. Because like but it's the truth though. Like, I think Janelle Monáe said something where she was like, if we really want change, we're gonna need to like change how we make hip hop. We're gonna have to change how we make music. And I
She's
mean,
not wrong.
AJ, I don't know if you ever like listen to my music personally, but that's the wave I'm on. I mean, like, one, I'm a Christian rapper, one, but even before then, it was like I just cussed a lot. I wasn't really like well, if somebody needed to get dissed, then yeah, you were catching the smoke. But I wasn't like rapping about women or like sex or drugs or anything like that. But even like that uber aggressive, you have to annihilate and opposed to uplifting folk and everything like that. Yeah, it's gotta go, man. Because I mean, it do. I mean, like, forget the women for, well, let's not forget black women, but like forget, like, just move that to the side. Then it's like the drug culture within hip hop. We need to get rid of that. We need to get rid of the glorifying of getting the fancy sport cars and the sport and the clothes. But you know what? This is another, you know what, I wanted to touch on this because it's 3 years afterwards, but I still learn new things just from listening to it. Did you listen to Jay-Z's 444?
I listened to it maybe twice. It wasn't really in my collection like that.
Wow, I'm actually shocked. Huh. 444 for me, it was super layered but super light at the same time. And I say that because I think it only had like what, 10 songs, but if you listen to his lyrics, like really sit down and like listen, you hear a lot about where he talks about like mental health. He talks about buying buildings opposed to buying, instead of like buying cars and stuff like that. He talks about, he touches base on like what it's like for men and well, just I would say it was about his mom, but he was talking about like homosexuality and the homophobia stigma that there is within the black community. Like, he touched on a lot of stuff that,
Oh yeah, he did.
but if you listen to it, I'm telling you now, if you listen to it now though, like, it hits differently. So anybody that's watching this live, if you got streaming services, or if you're actually going to buy the music, check out Jay-Z's 444. Do it when you can actually just sit down, or if you're just driving somewhere and you just need something to cruise to. It's very rich. It's super layered but super light. It's like 10 songs.
So albums like Jay-Z's 444, the issues that I have with his album is the same issues I have with Kendrick's To Pimp a Butterfly, with J. Cole's 2014 Forest Hill Drive, with Kanye's Twisted, was it My Twisted Dark Fantasies?
Yep.
These albums, they not only tell you stories, but there's a huge message that it's supposed to definitely, it has the power. to definitely make a statement and a change in the Black culture. But because of the avenues that it has to go to get into the right ears to make those changes, it becomes somewhat diluted of its purpose.
I know what you're talking about, but elaborate for Facebook, because I don't like to assume, but I'd rather just hear it, and then I'll either just say ditto if I agree, or I'll counter. And I'm very opinionated. Go ahead.
So, for example, my favorite Kendrick Lamar album to this day is "To Pimp a Butterfly." Love the album front to back. My issue with "To Pimp a Butterfly" is, you might get mad at me when I say this.
I'm listening.
Negroes only know a few tracks off of that, and it's only the tracks that got played either heavy on MTV or on the radio or something like that.
Now,
Okay,
okay,
like
so I need you, because I once again was listening to 444. You're saying Negroes. Are you wanting to say something else? Because there is a difference.
I'm saying Negroes because that's the best way I can keep it PG.
No, I don't mind if you say nigga. I mean, like, bro,
right.
nigga, you're a nigga. Like,
right. Look, you told me to keep it PG. I was trying to keep it PG.
What is that? What is the cuss word about that to us?
Look, I don't. Hey, I'm only here like a few times. All right, my fault.
You didn't stay up on my episodes. You're good, bro.
Niggas only listen to some music that resonates with them. So, for example, I'm gonna use you. If you are wanting to get a message to, the younger generation, saying, hey, doing drugs, selling drugs, everything about, crack cocaine, heroin, meth, fentanyl, all that is bad. That's the message that you're putting in your song. You almost have to go against that message, make a song that's almost going against that message, but make the lyrics still make sense to what your message is, to get into their ears, for them to actually play your songs, and to get the one or two out of every five of these niggas to sit down and listen to your lyrics, to actually understand what the hell you're talking about while they're on drugs. That is the issue that I have with the music today, is that the labels and a lot of these artists have it so screwed up that if you're going to put out a positive message, you have to take the negative way out to get the positive message to the people, to the masses, for you to get the result that you're looking for.